guys hear that we're just live? So I'm just gonna go on Facebook and like for a minute, I'm just gonna take to make my stream public. Okay. And you can just let me know when you're done sharing out.
I don't know how to do it.
Okay, I'll tell you how to do it.
Okay.
Did you go on my profile and did you see us live?
On your profile. Okay, let me find it again. Yep. I'm on your profile now, and
do you see us live when you kind of scroll down?
Slide. Yes.
Yeah. Now there's an option like, comment, and share.
Yep.
You can just click on the option share. Share now, public. Click that and just post it.
Got it. Done.
I feel like a genius. I don't know why, but I feel like one.
Well, when you're dealing with me, you are a genius in pretty much anything related to technology.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Okay. I don't know. I'm laughing so much today, but that's a good thing. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in, joining in with this live stream. Today we have Matt Barnes, amazing person I met over LinkedIn. Yes, guys, I'm on LinkedIn now. I'm so famous and so grown up for a 13-year-old. So yeah, let's have fun with Matt Barnes and let's know what he does. So hello, how are you today?
Great. Great to meet you. Great to be on the interview with you today.
Amazing. It's amazing having you here as well. So let's hear your introduction and then we can kickstart this interview.
Great. You told me I should tell you about my childhood. So I'm going to start at day one. I was born. And it gets more interesting from there, doesn't it? So I was, I'm from it's called St. Louis, Missouri. It's in the middle of the United States. My mom was a teacher. My grandmother was a teacher. My great grandmother was a teacher. We have educators throughout our family. My professional background is actually healthcare. I ran healthcare institutions, departments of institutions, and I moved into education about 10, 12 years ago because I saw how many of our young kids, particularly our boys in the United States, particularly our Black boys, who were really, really struggling. And so that's what brought me into education. And since then, I've been seeing how important it is that the parent learns how to help their child lean into their own learning. So you are, to me, a perfect example of a young woman who has learned how to learn and has learned how to do the things that she wants to do, regardless of what school says. So to me, you are the prototype of what I would want every kid and every parent to encourage their child to become. So that's why I'm really excited to meet with you today.
Yeah, and this is just my diva moment. As you said, I'm the perfect person right now. So yeah, I have my diva moments around.
Take your diva moment, enjoy it.
I do. Don't you think so? After I just did that,
I have no doubt.
Amazing. Okay, now tell me, how was your own childhood in St. Louis, and how is St. Louis? I've heard that in TV shows, but never been to it.
Yeah, St. Louis is it's a fine city to grow up in. It's unfortunately there are some really poor parts of St. Louis that are really, really in trouble, and they have been in trouble for 40, 50 years. And the trouble means that there are, kids that grow up without having any sort of future. They're not educated well. Most of their activities or a lot of their activities are really negative. Those are the kids that I want to help. And I don't think I can get to them unless the parent behaves differently. So when I was growing up, my mom, she made sure that I was going to do the right thing. And if I wasn't, she was on my case. She was, I won't tell you all the things that she did. Let's just say that she made sure that I was doing the right thing. That's the kind of energy that moms need to bring to the table. And frankly, dads too. But that's what I'm trying to inspire other parents to do as well. Growing up, I had, pretty simple life. I like to ride my bicycle. I love to play sports. And sports taught me a lot about teamwork, a lot about doing my own preparation without the coach telling me what to do. Like, I could become good at any sport without a coach. I learned that early on. And now I'm learning the same thing. I can learn how to do anything if I make the decision to do so. That's what we're trying to help other parents and other kids understand and learn as well.
Well, your work is honestly amazing, and I mean, not to brag, that now that I'm hearing like all of your work, I feel like, yeah, because my parents, they contribute a lot. I mean, my dad, he can be doing like wonders with his career, but he's, focusing a lot on my side as well as his career. It's not that he's leaving it behind or something.
Yeah.
My mom, she focuses a lot on me, and honestly, I'm hard to handle, right? I mean, I do sound like a diva with tantrums, but every child has tantrums.
But hold on, you might say you're hard to handle, but I would say that you are no different than most kids. But your parents are giving you more freedom to do things that most parents would never do. I mean, you're 13 years old and you're having conversations with people all the way across the globe that you initiated, right? I didn't initiate this meeting. Now, I wanted to hear more about you. Honestly, I want to turn this interview around on the diva. I want to hear more about how does a 13-year-old get the freedom to do what you're doing right now? What did your parents ever say? Stop doing this. Did they ever discourage you?
No. And in fact, I love the fact because, we can go both ways and ask me any question you want, right? And I feel like it's hard for them at times. I mean, it's not that giving freedom is hard for them, but, the kind of society or the country that I live in, it isn't at all normal for even boys my age to do interviews like this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the family or, kind of in the social circle, I would say, that say a lot of mean stuff, right? And as much we kind of don't want to focus on that, our minds just kind of go that way.
Yeah.
But I feel like how my parents have handled to kind of ignore all those mean comments and all those things because they're making an effort. I go to school. I also have to spend time with my family. I have to give time to social media, then do interviews, and so on. And I also have a business that I'm running. So there's a lot of things going on in my life. And I feel like my parents, I feel they've given me the freedom because they've trusted me. In my childhood, if they told me not to do something, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I questioned, why shouldn't I do this? It's not that because I said so. That was never their answer. It's because they give me a logical explanation. They said not to play in the sun all day. I was like, why not? Right? And they're like, this is why not, because my nose starts bleeding if I play in the sun, right? And they're like, this is why not, because we care for you. And I was like, okay, I won't play. So I played for a little and I come in because it's not, when you kind of try to say something and kind of come from power, of course I would do the exact opposite.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
But if you give me a logical explanation or like a scientific explanation, I just do what you say.
Yeah.
Right? And when that trust was built, because social media is honestly a hard place for my parents to kind of let me be in, because there's people that honestly send me gross stuff.
I'm sure.
And I do understand. I mean, there's people asking, will you marry me, to my dad? And they're actually sending text to my mom as well. I don't know how they find it on Facebook.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, the guy is working, right? Wow. And I'm like, I'm just 12 years old. That was when I was 12. Yeah. And my mom just commented, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a real diva moment. Yeah.
Well, I gotta tell you, I don't know your parents, but I love them because they're giving you freedom. They're teaching you how to be a young adult. And that's the key. That's the part that a lot of parents don't understand. So I work with hundreds and hundreds of parents here in the United States, and actually increasingly outside of the United States. But one of the things that most parents do is exactly as you said, they try to control the child. And so once you start to control the child, tell them, do it because I said so. Don't do this because I said so. What you actually are doing is you're teaching the child how they can't learn how to manage themselves.
Yeah.
And so every parent wants their child to be able to go out in the world and to manage themselves honorably, intelligently, respectfully. But we have to train that. That doesn't happen accidentally. And so you're learning all this stuff because of these interactions you're having with your parents. And hello, is that your dad?
No,
No.
that's not
Oh,
actually.
okay. Oh, okay. I thought your
This
mom
is
was.
this is my mom, and the picture is
There's your
my
mom. Yeah,
little
yeah.
brother.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, hello, mom. So anyway, I want to encourage your parents, and I want to definitely encourage you. But for all the parents that might be listening, I want them to appreciate what is possible and how now the 21st century is completely different than anything
Yeah.
that has come before. That you and I can be having a conversation thousands of miles away, and it feels like you're right in the same room. That is a completely different world. So kudos to your mom and your dad. Really appreciate them.
Yeah, mom and dad are awesome.
Yeah.
Um, and okay, now I want to ask you something because
Sure.
I just turned like a teenager a few months ago. And it's pretty recent, and my mom's like, you're already very grumpy and cranky, and you're already throwing those tantrums. And I'm like, that's bound to be. What? How are your teenagers, and how
Yes.
was everything
Well,
around you?
yeah. So I have a 18-year-old. I'm going to talk about my kids, right? So I have an 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 15-year-old.
Oh.
Um, and yes, at this age, crankiness starts to happen, but it never leaves. I'm cranky, and I'm 49 years old. So the key point, though, is that the child will start to mature through that crankiness. And I believe that, someone like yourself I mean, can you imagine like 2 or 3 or 4 years from now, what you will be doing, the type of influence you will have, the type of platform that you will have to help other kids and families? I mean, that to me is super exciting. So for my kids, I talk to them about you and a lot of other young people that I interview and adults that I interview as well. And my middle daughter is building she's doing some similar things like you, but not quite as public. She is interested in marine biology, so she has been increasingly connecting with people in the marine biology field, having interviews with them, doing projects with them completely unrelated to school, right? She just released her website and blog a couple days ago and is getting contacted from people in other parts of the world. Yep, to talk about marine biology. My youngest daughter, she's 15, and we're starting a business. She's actually into acting and theater, and so
Amazing.
she's been posting material onto YouTube, and she's getting responses from people about her performances on YouTube. And so, again, this is the different space that we're in as 21st century adults and young people. So,
Yeah. And honestly, I love acting as well. I'm a theater actress, by the
really,
way.
okay.
I only work on projects that relate on child abuse. So I work on how to prevent it through, in fact, not only just theater plays, but also puppet plays. So it's
Oh,
amazing. And I not just do it in my area of Pakistan or my country, but I also travel to not other countries, sorry, other cities. And I especially do that in charity schools that run by what some of us conscious people might give to the schools. So I feel like they need it the most. And in
right.
fact, when we do a performance, there are people that might come out and say, these awkward situations or awkward conversations that has happened between me or another adult. It did happen with me, but I didn't have quite the right thing to tell to my parents. And we always summarize, or we go to the cities where at least we have part of our crew members. We have one that speaks the native language. Like
Mm-hmm.
we went to Lahore. The
Mm-hmm.
language there is Punjabi. I speak Punjabi, right? And I feel like when we go there and we kind of just explain that to them, not using scientific words or words that might be considered inappropriate, right?
Right.
Because those words the children might Google, and if they Google, they might be led to the wrong material. And if not even, their parents, if they might tell those words to their parents, those parents, if they are literate, then they'd be very mad, because what are you telling the child, right? So we're very conscious when it comes to the kind of words that we use, because it took a lot of time to just write the script down in a way which is very friendly, in a
Sure.
way which is loved by the parents. And it was an amazing response. And I feel like that's the best audience I've ever had, though I've had many people watch me on Facebook. And like, I'm also a stand-up comedian, which is how I started my career. Um, and I feel like they're the best audience, because they laugh, and at times they're like, oh my God, this is something that I should prevent.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
That's very cool. I mean, I love the idea of using comedy and puppet shows to actually introduce difficult or sensitive concepts. So that sounds like that's what you're up to, huh?
Yeah, I
Very cool.
actually did motivational comedy for a while as well, which is motivational speaking plus comedy. And because I see women in my area, in my country, at times they're told certain things that they're not like really supposed to know or stuff. And then there's that kind of unnecessary information that they carry around all the time, which also leads to gossiping, by the way, because they have to unload it somewhere. But
Sure.
I feel like all that baggage that they carry around, it kind of would stop them from like really climbing that mountain, as I say. So I did that through my comedy. I do my comedy in like 3 languages. So yeah, because I am like trilingual. Yeah, that's a word.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
it is now.
Yeah. So I do that, and I feel one thing that really drives me for my comedy is that I love when people laugh at me, even when I was a child, because I started doing yoga when I was about 2.5. What I remember, because I have videos and like pictures, because my dad was learning meditation and the art of that thing. It was going to classes and like, I don't know, roundtable discussions about it.
Yeah.
And he took me with him. I was like kind of like always in his backpack. So he took me with him, and those are things that I learned in the first words that I spoke, in fact. So for a while I thought wearing orange and sitting on the beach was really the key to meditation. um, and it's very nice that I was very different. I dressed differently, and I spoke differently, and a lot of people laughed at me since I was very young, because they were like, yoga, what is that, right? And if people even knew that, because that time it was not considered cool. I was born in 2007, so this is like at least like 2011, 12 that I'm talking about, right? So that time it wasn't cool. Now it's the coolest thing ever, right?
So let me pause here for a second. When you said that you liked people when they laughed at you, were they laughing at you, or were they laughing were you causing them to laugh? Right? There's a difference there.
Now this is the difference.
Yeah.
For a long time, I couldn't tell the difference, right? Now I told you I was young and people were laughing at me. And then when I caused them to laugh through my comedy, they were just laughing, right?
Right.
And this is why I took it as a normal thing. And I was like, yeah, they're laughing. I'm causing them to laugh. I'm forcing them to laugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. At time, I just had that sense of power as well, that I can make them laugh. It's a hard thing, honestly. And I really realized that when we kind of say certain things seriously, honestly, nobody cares. Nobody does. But if you say it through comedy, they'll just laugh it off. I mean, if they don't want to pick it up, they'll laugh it off.
That's
so, right. Yeah, people give me the right platform and the love.
So let me interrupt you again, because I have a young man that I'm going to be interviewing on our vlog and podcast who is much like yourself. He was into magic, though. So he began doing magic when he was 11, maybe 12 years old. Now he is 17, and he is incredibly good, right? But what he found was that once he started learning how to deceive people, he then started seeing there's opportunities to bring up conversations about, like, how did you allow me to deceive you? And what other places are you being deceived by? And now he's interested in behavioral economics. Do you know that term?
Heard of it?
Okay,
I have no idea what it
I'll
means.
explain it real briefly. It's just the idea that our brains, um, our brains make errors that are pretty common. So, as an example, um, um, we would prefer to get something than to lose that very thing. That's just kind of a situation in our brains that kind of forces we don't even realize it's happening sometimes. But he's now wanting to study how our brains work that allows him to deceive people through magic, right? So it is you never know how a young person's interests will shift and develop and grow. And that's again where I'm so excited to hear about you and your parents who saw you making people laugh early and didn't discourage you from doing that. In fact, it sounds like they may have said, "You are really funny, continue to do that," right? And
Yeah.
now see where it has brought you. So I want to meet your parents.
Honestly, they're downstairs, and as soon as we are off air, because of my dad's job, he can't like really come out publicly.
Yeah,
But after that, yeah, definitely you can talk to my dad, talk to my mom.
I would love that. I would love that because most parents need to hear. I would love to interview them at some point because parents need to hear other parents saying, "We're going to do something different." And then seeing the results of a young lady like yourself who is so powerful at the age of 13. And I don't mean powerful in a bad way, but powerful meaning you know what you like, you know how to pursue things that you're interested in, and you're able to then bring these things to solve problems in the world. And that's a part of what you're doing that is, I think, most exciting. You're not just doing this to benefit you. You're actually bringing conversations to people that they need to have a different type of conversation around their child or around, like you mentioned, abuse. Was that your area of child abuse?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
talk about it and I work for it. Now,
Yeah.
I really wanted to tell you something, and you were saying about my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people texted me and they were like, I want to talk to your parents, or I just, there's actually people that, fathers that texted me and said, I have a 6 months old daughter and I want to, ask you how to parent. And I'm like, dude, I'm like 12 years old. And I'm like, I can ask my dad for a few tips, I guess, which is weird. But I feel like it's nice that they're reaching out. But one thing at times people might not realize is that how much effort goes into this.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Now the thing is, my parents, they treat me like this celebrity at home. Like I am their, I don't know, JLo or something. I'm like Jennifer Lopez 2.0 in my house. And I'm so proud to say that I work professionally as well. I do interviews, I do sessions that are off air, like business meetings and stuff. And I also do school, I also do family, then I also have to go to weddings. Pakistanis have a lot of it. Okay.
Yes.
So there's so many things that are happening in my life, and I'm so proud to say that I still get to watch, I still binge watch Netflix. So it's like the biggest achievement of my life or something. And my mom, like in the morning, now she woke me up, she put on my setup. I had this, kind of session going on, and she put it up and she made me breakfast in the bed, which is not such an often thing. She, I dressed up and she brushed my hair. It's not that you have to like smother all the time, but it's the kind of thing that she does. Now, and then I'm kind of doing makeup on my face. That's a cool example. Now I just this right, I correct, and I'm like, I don't know how to match this one up, and she's kind of doing it like last minute for me, and then I'm like, I'm hungry, like 4 minutes, I'm like hungry, and then I have these tantrums if I'm running late. I'm like, no, do this, oh my god, right? And then all these things that I do, and it's my family is kind of doing everything with me because
Mm,
because of my, I discuss certain topics before I talk about them publicly with my dad, because again, my vocabulary isn't the strongest, and I might use words that are closer to others
mm,
but are not exactly the same, and might l- trigger some thoughts in the listener's mind. Come on, I'm getting smart.
yeah.
Just hearing myself say stuff and appreciate me all the time, because I go down from the interview. My dad's like, such an amazing interview. And I'm like, go on. Yeah, go on. And he has to go on for like about 15 minutes for like how great I was. And then I'm like, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what Matt said as well. I'm great. So
So
we
you
keep going on.
so you are a diva.
Yeah. I mean, they treat me like one. I feel like treat your children like celebrities. And I've actually heard mom says, you're not a celebrity. And I'm like, please treat your child like a celebrity. Treat them like they're, I don't know, out of the world or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they'll kind of be used to it, but they never get spoiled. Because this is something that they kind of, I don't know, subconsciously expect from you as well.
Well, let me ask you, do they talk to you like you are really valuable? Right?
Yeah,
Because that's the key. I think that's what you're really getting at.
yeah.
And here in the States, in the United States, there are so many kids that grow up thinking that they don't matter, that they are worthless, right? And it sounds like your parents are letting you know that you are incredibly valuable. Again, from my perspective and maybe yours, you are a gift directly from God. So of course we should treat you as this incredible gift because you are, right? So again, I wanna hug your parents. I don't know them, but I want to continue to learn from them because they're showing me and other parents who might be watching or who might be watching at some later point that we can show incredible love to our kids, and that they won't become spoiled by that. They will just realize that they are valued and valuable, and that is incredibly powerful. So that's so cool.
Okay. Now I want to ask you something, and this is a question that I kind of asked my parents as well, because I've grown up to be somebody that really, kind of I have my own rules. So this is something like, this is my limit. I don't cross that.
Yeah.
Like, this is it, right? Because me and my dad, we talk like buddies. I'm like, bro, can you come here? Dude, can you come here? And he's doing that the same. And it takes him time to catch up with the slang,
Yeah.
but he's good at it. He's getting good at it. But yet he also, I mean, I'm a child and I'm not so aware of so many things. Yet he treats me like I'm 18 or something, which is the best thing in the world. He doesn't treat me like I'm some, like, I don't know, child, kid, or never says child or kid as an insult, which is used quite often by parents at times. Um, and how do you think is the best way to monitor your kids and
Mm.
monitor their activity, not like really getting over all the time and like spying over like a cloud or something? Not doing that.
Yeah. Great question. Um, So let me give you the two ways that people tend to think about monitoring their kids. And here in the United States, because technology has just become so powerful, a lot of parents will do will put systems on the cell phone or on the computer that monitor the child's behavior, what they're watching, or it prevents them from accessing certain technology. Right now, I used to believe that that was the best way to do it. I don't anymore. Um, Now I believe the best way to monitor a child is to teach the child how to monitor themselves.
Yeah.
So, as you described a moment ago, people reach out to you and give and share things that are just, inappropriate, but you have learned how to filter that out, and that doesn't phase you. That you're not going to get trapped or led down a bad path through that stuff because you've learned how to manage technology. Technology is not going away. So if
Hmm.
if we as parents are going to want to stand over our children as they're on their cell phone or on the computer, we can't do that forever. Instead, we can start to coach them on how they can learn how to manage their own screens. Now, this again, it requires some discernment or some kind of logic from the parent, because we don't want to give a 4-year-old a cell phone and expect the 4-year-old to learn how to manage themselves. But a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, yeah, definitely. They can learn how to manage it to the point when they're 13, they could be doing things like you're doing, living online and having thousands and thousands of connections. That to me is how the best way to monitor a child is by helping the child learn how to monitor themselves. And if I could add one more piece, the work that we do is all about helping the child become a learner, a curious learner. Once you become curious, you become insulated from all sorts of things. Here's an example. When I'm now starting to use my cell phone more and more, why is that? What's happening that's causing me to use my cell phone more and more? Then you can start seeing that there are all these tricks that the cell phone companies and the cell phones are using, and the applications are using to keep you active. And you can now begin to say, oh, you know what? I'm not going to fall for that trick anymore. Right.
Yeah.
Or people who reach out to you and ask you or invite you to do things, and you go, wait, why are they doing this? And Dad, help me understand this. Right. That curiosity causes a child to become safer in many ways, not more in trouble. So that's my theory, and I've definitely seen it work with a lot of young people and families, and so definitely with yourself as well. I'm seeing it. So
Yeah, and I, my dad. I mean, he does monitor, because we have like an account like logged into his phone as well. Because I forget to charge my own phone, so I need his. Then, I am a 13-year-old, please. And it's so the way that you just said is used by my parents, and I would always suggest this to everybody out there who's listening, because this is also respecting somebody's boundaries, right? You're respecting the child's boundary, but you're kind of arming them with the right things, right?
yeah, that's right.
And this is actually really, really important. Now, you see, parents nowadays, they're discussing, at times they're watching the news, and it's so depressing, right? I mean, my house, when my dad even tries to kind of catch up on all these things going on, I'm like, you know what, you're gonna fall for that trick. That's when I become like that. And then I make my puppy eyes, and I'm like, no, watch something else. So me and my dad, we both love watching movies, and we watch movies a lot. Like, I'm like, that actor, he does this amazing thing, and I've watched more than like 100 Bollywood films alone.
Wow.
So that I remember. So got a lot of things from Netflix. And we discussed that. Or if you're not discussing those, then we're discussing, which is very weird. And I don't, want everybody should do that. You can do what you want. But we, in fact, discussed like why KFC failed in Israel or in another country and stuff like that. And then we come up with some points, and there's channels like Insider or Business Insider or CNBC. And those are the kind of channels that I subscribe to. And then I watch those videos. And my dad watches. And then we kind of discuss on it. And I'm like, no, but they welcomed it. But it isn't long term. And at times we might go on into an argument, which isn't very, very like often. But then we're like, you know what? Forget it. Let's focus on the salad, or let's focus on the dinner, right? So it's fun.
Yeah. So there's something you just mentioned that I want to make sure other parents heard. It doesn't sound like you and your parents have it sounds like your parents have access to any of the systems that you're using. Is that correct? Like, they can see your cell phone, you can see theirs. That's kind of, is that what I'm hearing?
Is that I don't like really, this is the cell phone that I can call my cell phone, but isn't really my own. My dad can use it anytime. So I don't even have a password on it.
Bingo. So here I want to, again, for parents, that's really smart, right? The parent is paying for that cell phone. So the parent has authority to put some limits around it. We do need to have limits. And the limit that you back to the question you asked around how do you monitor or, kind of keep an eye on a child, there should be no password differences, right? So if I'm paying for the cell phone, then I should be able to just open it whenever I want, because it's my cell phone. And so yes, there's some need for privacy, but there's also responsibility. And I'm sure that at some point at some point your dad said, I don't need to check her cell phone all the time because I know she's behaving responsibly. But having that shared access still keeps everybody honest, and is a really good practice for parents. So
yeah. And you know, one thing that I really, really, really want to say to all the people out there, if your child is saying, because I use that trick a lot, it doesn't work. That my friend has her own, you know, I tried convincing. I, in fact, even at some point was gonna make PowerPoint presentation on convincing my parents to get me a phone, but they just wouldn't. They're like, "You want to do anything? You know, do it on my phone. You want to watch Netflix? Do it on the TV."
yep.
And they don't even let me have my own TV in my bedroom, which is very sad. You know, yesterday I was trying to convince them, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch Netflix. We have the same account. You can always watch what I'm watching. They're like, but what's wrong in the TV lounge? You can just watch it, because whenever you enter our house, that's the first thing you'd see. I can't see anything wrong, so it's not that I'm planning to, but it's just that sort of like thing. But they make me realize how important it is to have like a joint TV.
And so again, your parents, can I draw something? Would you mind if I draw something on my whiteboard, or is this that's too weird for a Facebook post?
That's the best thing ever. Go ahead.
Give me 1 second. Let me.
I said go wild.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna go wild.
Yeah, go wild, please.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see this. Okay, so one of the really important elements that we teach parents is, let's see if I can get this visual here, is what we call the transition of learning ownership. So here's what I mean. Okay, so this is a graphic of ownership. So here is the parent, and here is the child.
Yeah.
Now, when the child is born, the parent has complete ownership of the child's future and the child's daily life, right? They're paying for the bills, they're feeding them, they're etc. But over time, the control and the ownership of the parent declines, and the ownership of the child increases until at some point they switch. Now the child owns more of their life than the parent, and the parent moves into, instead of a controlling role, a coaching role. And so what I'm seeing with you is, at the age of around 11 or 12, maybe even a little earlier, this switch happened in your life, where your parents became increasingly a coach as opposed to the controller. And as you become more and more able to own and control your own life, now you become a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
And your parents will always be a coach, giving you advice, giving you guidance, but you are leading. And so for me and for my kids are up in this area, you're up in this area. I know that at some point I will never have to worry about them, because I have taught them and they have learned how to manage themselves. Does that make sense?
That does, and this is actually leading to my last question.
Yeah.
And that is, see, a lot of times I hate to give this example. My dad, I mean, he still does not make his own decision. He goes to my grandpa, and then they discuss, which isn't a bad thing. But again, it's like they, at times, parents they love their children. I don't blame any of the parents. And it's, at times, it's hard to just kind of give that hand, like, kind of like leave it to go by a little bit. right? It's hard because you've kept it and you've protected the child for so long. You just don't want them to kind of hurt themselves, right? And,
Absolutely.
and I don't blame you. And that's like a feeling from the heart. That's
Yeah.
a pure feeling, right? See, I'm getting so better, right? And all those things. Um, and but my dad he kind of lets go at times, and he's like, let her be, let her do that. Because at times my mom is like, do your homework, do your homework, because come on, I'm not so good at doing homework. And my dad's like, let her be for a while, and then I just gradually do it myself.
Yeah.
And I understand my mom worries about me, but she needs to understand that I have to do it at my own at some point. And I feel like that you need to allow your children to grow up and make their own decisions is a very important thing. You shouldn't just baby them their entire life.
That's right. But it's got to be coached. It's got to be a managed process. And in every family, um, you know, there's culture that factors in here, and there's the risk for the parent that is lifelong, right? So your father chooses to follow your grandparents' lead, right? He's choosing to do that because culturally it's super important, and I respect that. Um, and that's back to this graphic. That's a part that can be a part of the graphic. The point, though, is that he has learned how to manage himself. How to manage himself. You are learning how to manage yourself, and that is the highest aspiration of most parents, that they don't have to manage their children. And that's what I'm seeing with you, and I'm so glad to meet you. This has been a great conversation.
Indeed, and I would love if you kind of stay back because my dad can come and talk to you if you want.
I would
So
love it. I would love to talk to him.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, definitely. So thank you so much, everybody who was watching. We had a good audience today. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, sharing if you did. If you didn't, go ahead, guys. Start a watch party. Do that. Right? I would love if you kind of act on this if you're a parent. And even if you're not a parent, if you're not even married, just try to follow this when you are ready to have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah? And if you're a child, do not ever kind of go back and not send this to your parents. WhatsApp it to your parents. Come on, they'll learn something. Definitely. And even if they don't, they'll enjoy just feeling good about themselves if they do all these things. Come on, my parents are. So thank you so much, and
Great to
goodbye.
meet you. Take care.